Hey there, welcome back to Misty Acres Nursery. Well, as I was saying last week and showing you, had this what they call manifold piece off here for the Hunter irrigation system that I use in the nursery, and I had a split in this end here, had a little split in here. So I ordered a new one, and well, I didn't have to order it, I just had one in the shop, so I went and picked that up the other day and we'll put it in. So this irrigation system, the controller has 8 stations, of which I'm only using 2. I'm only using 5 on this one, so it does have another three stations up its sleeve should I need them. Run a wire and earth, so positive and negative, back to the main controller. This one runs on electricity, so it's mains powered. There we go. What I might do is just go and grab a cloth and the Stilsons and just give them all one little nip up. Yeah, that's it, all done. I'll put the cover back on though. All right, so that's that pipe fixed, and I've got some more irrigation to go and look at though, so let's go and check out down in the lower nursery. So now we're down in the lower nursery, which is pretty much where all the big bag plants are, and I need to put some more sprinklers down here, and I have got some drip ones which I'm going to take out. So I tend to use these overhead ones as the sprinklers down here. I did try having drips into these bags, but there's so many bags and I needed more stations, more solenoids to switch on and off, because I couldn't run very many off one line of drips. I think there's at least 60 plants down that line, and the same down this line, and the same down this line, so they're all double rows of plants on the wires left and right. So I couldn't run 60 drippers at once, could only do 30 at once. Well, I could run 60, but they'd have to run for hours and hours, so it's easier to do overhead. Last year wasn't so bad actually, last summer. So we'll see how this summer goes. A little bit of hand watering just here and there, but that's fairly normal in a nursery over summer. It's only maybe 2 months where you pop down every few days and just do some of them that might be getting missed. So I am going to remove that line, and I had a line going up there which I didn't even really have drippers on yet. I think I had a couple at the beginning, so I'll remove that line. And this one here, which has got nothing running at all to it yet, it was just set up but never plugged into. That one I'm going to run all the way down there to that post and put one of those overhead sprinklers on, and then straight out behind me, so straight opposite, it'll come off the same one. Off that post I'll put one up there. I am going to run a drip for those lancewoods though, so that's these tall skinny ones, all of these here. They're on their own wire just along the side of the path because they're so narrow. So I'll start by pulling out all the old pieces I don't need and anything that's extra that I've got lying out here, and then start connecting new ones back up. So it's mainly just adding 2 sprinklers and then just removing what's not needed. So with this lower nursery controller, these are the solenoids, exactly the same as the other one where I repaired the manifold. This one runs on batteries though, because I don't have any electricity out here. So I'll bring you around later. You can't see past this, but the controller is up in here. It's sort of like a little computer thing with days and times and length of watering times and all that stuff. And I'm just rearranging because I had some of these out of order. It doesn't matter, apart from sometimes you only want to turn one particular station on if it's looking a bit dry or something. So it's handy to have them in order of how they are in the nursery, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the same as out here. And there was a couple that were out of line when I'd added that drip irrigation that I ended up not using, so some things got out of line. So I've got to move some of these pipes across to here and that one back to there, so it's not particularly hard. I just have to turn them on to check which one's which, or follow the line right to the end. The Hunter irrigation pieces and the solenoids, I was initially thought there might be some trouble with that leaking one where I had changed the manifold with the water squirting out. I thought it may have upset the solenoids, but then I remembered I had looked at their website, and amazing. You want to see the testing they do with those solenoids? I'll link them down below, Hunter Irrigation, just so you can have a look. They freeze them, they put them underwater, they do everything, and they seem to still be working, those solenoids. Not the computer piece, but the solenoids, so a bit of splashing water around them, I don't think it's going to cause any trouble. But yeah, interesting, so check the link below for that. Alright, so I've got all of those hooked up on channel, or station 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And up here is the control panel. These are Hunter, these are American. And inside you have digital screen and all the adjustments. Comes up with the time, and you can set the date, the time, the start times, run times for all different, each individual station, and also how long and how often, which days of the week. You can do alternative days of the week or all sorts of things, manual, single. You can turn the system off. And this one runs on a battery, and the other one I had where I replaced that manifold looks the same, but it runs on electricity because it's closer to electricity. So this one just has batteries, which I change once a year, so I'll change those shortly. I haven't needed irrigation yet, they're still working. I might just leave it there for now because I can always shorten them down. These sprinklers point up on an angle, so it may be pointing too high, but it's easy to change. So we'll put that on, put the hose clip on it and tighten that up. Then I use a block of wood because I need to space the sprinkler. Off the post so that the back of the sprinkler doesn't hit and get stopped when it's oscillating around, which I'll show you in a second. Just like that. So that's that done. So I'm just going to pull all of these drippers out of this piece of pipe. So these didn't pull out at all from this pipe because they're barbed, which I knew that, but I thought they might still pull out. But see, they got the barb, got that barbed on them, barbed end. So they were never going to pull out, and the spacing on these will be no good for anything else on this pipe, so I just cut them to get them out, throw the pipe away and start again. So I'll keep the small tubing and the drippers and everything. It's just this pipe I'll get rid of. So that's the drippers that go on the end of this small tubing, and you can see these particular ones are 4 litres per hour. So when you turn them on, you get 4 litres per hour dripping out of there. So on the end of these dripping tubes, one end's got the dripper on it, and the other end has that barbed end, and that's the one that pushes into the 19mm pipe, or 20mm pipe, somewhere around there, so it's 3/4 inch. So the reason I have two different pipes is this black one that I've been working with today is very thin walled, and it won't go into these fittings, which are a way more industrial type fitting, but because the wall is so thin they don't actually screw up tight on them, and they can blow off with the pressure of the water quite easily, or even possibly a frost would blow them apart. But in order to put these barbed fittings for the drippers, which is on the small line, you need to use the thin wall, because you can't push them into this stuff here, because it's not sure what walls they are. Do they say? I don't know if they say on there, but it's probably about a 2mm wall, so they're very thick. They're good for hose pipe for this operation like I've got running here, but not good for adding irrigation tubing poked into it. I like to use just the normal elbow fittings with this thin wall, and hose clamps, and proper hose clamps, so the ones you screw up. You can get black ones that sort of ratchet together when you click them round. I have had them come off, and I just don't like them and don't want to rely on them, so I use hose clips, which can add up to quite a few hose clips. Having said that, these fittings here are an astronomical price as well. If you flick this piece up, so that silver bit there can go down or up. So if you leave it up, it'll go round and round on a 180, and it shoots out of that blue piece, comes out of there, and this thing goes pew, 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 backwards and forwards, and it spins around. But if you don't want it to do a whole circle, like here, you've got these clips on the bottom, which they're just clips, they just slide around wherever you like. So you have two of them. So I've got them set, or roughly where I think. I'll turn the sprinklers on and we can find out. So I've got it going to about there, which is shooting down the line of the fence, and it'll go right round to there, shooting down that line of the fence, and then it bounces back again, and it goes back quicker, and then it starts going shooting properly. I'll give you a demonstration in a minute. Then I've laid a pipe all the way along behind these lancewood, these skinny trees here, and I'm going to attach all of these drippers to each lancewood, and they'll get one each, exactly like I had set up originally over in the other trees. I may even, in the middle of this line that's going to run down here with all these drippers, maybe halfway, I'm only guessing at the moment, but I might put a tap on it. That's the line there actually, so it's got nothing at the moment, it's plugged into the controller, and it's got a stopper on the other end. It's actually full of water because I ran all the new pipes first to make sure they were clean, and then put the ends on, so at least I got any soil and leaves out. But I'm going to put a tap on there possibly, so if there's a lot of these plants are sold, I can move them all up to one end with a dripper, and I can turn that end off, and they don't have to be dripping into no plants at all. The other idea I had, if I don't have a lot of pressure to run however many plants I've got here, I might run that end is plugged into the controller, so it's getting a feed of water. I could possibly run a pipe down and put it in the far end, so it's getting a shot of water from both ends, if that would help the pressure. So let's go and check that water is still coming out now we've got the sprinklers on, and I'll show you how they actually rotate around and flick back, and we'll check that everything's all good. So I've just adjusted this one so it doesn't go right round at the moment. You can see in there how that hits those things, makes it ping back again. Watch this bit up here. You can set the slider on the top to change this pattern. and you can screw this one in. Just changes that pattern coming out. Sorry, the top one. Gosh, I keep getting wet off that sprinkler over there. This one is shooting it down, so that gets these plants watered up close, depending what you've got, what's happening. And this one adjusts the big spray up the top. And these are some other sprinklers that I have. These are a much finer one. I have these up in the shade house and in my propagation house just here. You can just turn that top black piece and it just closes it up, so you see it's doing a bit more than a 180. So with these, yeah, you just turn this top and it just closes up the slider around inside, and then as you wind it out this way, it'll go right round, eventually around to a 360. So they're quite effective. They shoot about 3 metre radius, and I'm running one. Got one up here, have I? 2, 3, and there's one over there. So I'm running 4, whereas the big sprinklers that I just put in the nursery down the bottom, these are the same up here. I only run 2 at a time off them. But they shoot a lot further. These go probably 5 metres. Well, as per normal, when you're working with sprinklers, wet clothes end up being the end result. I had to adjust those 2 new ones I put in, but you've got to do them while they're running really, so you do get splash. You don't necessarily get in the full force of it, but they splash off all around them. And anyway, they're working good now, so that'll be a lot better system down in the slower nursery. Fixing that manifold on the other timer earlier on, that was good, up on the solenoids. I'm just going to screw this black cover back over this one we've just been working on, and that will do. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one. Let me know if you've got any questions or any comments about what we've been up to today, and we'll see what we get up to in the nursery. It might be 2 or 3 weeks before our next one, but there's some bagging, potting, seedlings to sort out, and probably a little bit more hardware things to do as well. We're starting to get ready for warmer weather. Probably not hot dry weather just yet, I don't think, but who really knows. We'll deal with what happens. Thanks a lot. See you later.